Well, it looks like we're here again. I mean, seriously? I generally have got to a point where I'm giving up on the factor of I'm done with this shit because I'm apparently never done making rants because I'm always getting pissed off. So, let's go through the whole charade again. Here's another fucking rant. And again, you're gonna ask yourselves, oh Perry, why are you making another fucking rant? The reason why is because of general people who think they're better players than me just because they run some rogue as shit deck. Oh, I'm running fucking Morphotronics, so I must be a lot better than you. No, that's not how it works. Now, I could rant about this all fucking day about how people who play back in the day decks are generally bad, but that's not necessarily true. Now, someone who uses something like, I don't know, let's fucking get one out there, fucking Inzektas. Inzektas are a good deck, but they're not the best deck, especially not this format. In fact, they're probably dwindling this format. Someone who's watching this is going to be like, I really fucking hate you, Perry. Well, that's cool and everything, but I need to get an example out there, so just listen, alright? Just listen, right? Fucking Inzektas. We all know what they do. They pop our shit and they special summon. They do the OTK. That's cool. Like, we get it. We understand it has a good matchup against fucking Evil Swarms. But does that necessarily mean that the person who's running a fucking Inzekta deck is better than someone who runs fucking E-Dragons? No, it doesn't mean that. You want to know why? Because the E-Dragon player probably has more experience than you. He probably knows the format. A good player is someone who generally knows the fucking format, who knows their deck backwards, who knows what to side. I mean, what you could say is this. Everyone is a good player in their own way. That is true. Everyone is a good player in their own way. But when I am playing an Evil Swarm deck, and someone with fucking Karakuri just has the balls to say to me, oh, you're a bad player, you're running Evil Swarms, you would run that, wouldn't you, because you like to get the easy wins. I can tell you now, it's not that. The reason I run Evil Swarms is because it's a deck I've been using since it came into the fucking OCG, since it came on Dueling Network, because I liked Steel Swarm, and then I saw these fucking Evil Swarms, and then I saw fucking Ophion, and what the fuck is going on here? But yeah, fucking Ophion, seeing Ophion's general dumbass effect, I was just kind of like, holy motherfucking shit. This thing has broke the balls, but he's not broke the balls, because he's fucking piss easy to get past. Now, another thing is when fucking, what is it, some guy runs a rogue as shit deck, you don't even know their name, is just like, oh, well, if you're using that, I must be better than you, because I don't spend so much time, and I don't believe in the meta. Well, you better start believing in it, because there is a meta! There will always be a meta! Because there are better decks than others! Yeah, well, I don't believe in it because only bad players would use the meta because they're autopilot decks. Pretty much every deck is an autopilot deck. Most decks run off themselves. Like, for instance, Dark Worlds. They run off themselves. And people will still complain about Dark Worlds when they're not even that good anymore. You wanna know what else is an autopilot deck? Karakuri runs off itself. Oh, this goes to attack mode. I get a draw off array. Yay, I get all this shit. I get to plus off anatomy. Yay, I use fucking cash. I get to add one to my hand. Because you know what? It's a fucking autopilot deck. Just like fucking Heretics and every other rogue as shit deck that you ever run. When people will try and complain to you saying you're running an autopilot deck, that is just the stupidest thing ever, because most decks are actually autopilot decks, if one does not know. Because of the fact of generally they all have effects which say do this and do this and do this, and then you get this and this and this, and you plus and you plus and you plus. It's fucking dumb as shit. It's like when fucking, what is it, I had a Fire King person have a go at me for fucking using fucking Evil Swarms. I was just like, you're using fucking Fire Kings! Your boss monster has one of the dumbest effects in the game! The fact that when he's destroyed by a card effect, whether it's by Solemn, or fucking Torrential, or Mirror Force, or any fucking thing in the planet, he comes back and blows up your monsters! What is not stupid about that? Now my argument is going to be this. Now, I've probably already said this before, but I want to say it a lot more clearer without shouting. Now, let's put someone as an example. I'm going to use the Inzektas again. An Inzekta player is going up against a fucking, let's go for the Evil Swarm, because that's probably the best example I have. Now, because the guy is using Evil Swarm, does that necessarily make him better than the Inzekta player? No. But just because the Inzekta player has a good matchup against the Evil Swarm player, does that make him a better player? No. What makes a player good at this game competitively is when they know formats and they know how to side against the formats. If they know their deck off by heart and they know it backwards, they are a good player. If someone knows their version of that deck off by heart and backwards, where they can tell you every strategy in that deck without even stuttering, I can't even do that, but you know, that doesn't make me a bad player, then they are generally a good player. There are good players out there who run tier 1 decks, and that's something I don't get because of net deckers. I ain't gonna complain about net deckers because I don't give a shit. If someone wants to net deck, they net deck. It's how I learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! But if someone is using a tier 1 deck, whether it's E-Dragons, Dragoonities, or shit like that, does it make him a bad player? No, it makes you a bad player for having to complain about that deck. The fact that you are complaining about a deck makes you bad in a sense that you generally don't know how to deal with that deck. If you can't deal with that deck, and if you don't like that deck, don't play the game, or at least don't play competitively. Because I think I've said this so many fucking times before, but people just I know people don't watch these much, but still, stop fucking complaining. Yeah, but you're always complaining. Shut the fuck up before I rip your fucking head off. Now, this is where I'm going to put this to a close because I think it's a little late for me to do a rant, but still, it needs to get out there. Bad players who just complain about people who use tier 1 decks, stop it. Because you make yourself look bad yourself, the fact that you have to complain about something that's just good. If you if you think this deck is so fucking broken, make it. And I know you're probably going to say, oh yeah, but I don't have that much money. It's called getting a fucking job. Anyone with a fucking job can make a tier 1 fucking deck. They're not the most expensive things in the fucking world. I made a fucking Evil Swarm deck with a budget of £100 fucking pounds, when statistically it would cost me about £200. But I obviously made £100 profit. Anyway, guys, Barco Pez signing off. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll get back to you with another fucking rant. Came out here for a fucking reason. I'm gonna have a smoke. Fuck this shit.